Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to explain measures of dispersion. Let's consider set of observations from one variety. I have taken 5 observations. The observations in yield, 5 observations from the 5 plots. The average. Then here I have calculated arithmetic mean. Mean for these 5 observations is 42. Now consider another set of observations from the variety 2, 90, 50, 40, 20, 10, the 5 observations. For that also I calculated arithmetic mean, I got 42. Based on these observations here, 45, 42, so this is one range, this is in different values, and both arithmetic, for both the set of observation, arithmetic mean is 42. Is the performance of two varieties is same? No, because here in this first set of data there is a more uniformity or less variability in the set of data. You can observe everything around near 40, but in the second set of data from the second variety there is a less uniformity or more variability. So first variety may be preferred since it is more stable. This is better in this way, you can say. So here based on this we can say this one is more stable here. In this set of data from the of course 2 sample or 2 variety, from the one first variety is observation, the second, these are the observations from the second variety. So based on this observation, the both case arithmetic mean is 42. In this measure of central tendency is not sufficient. Alone is not sufficient to describe the data. We need some other measures also. So that measures is measure of variation or measure of scatteredness. So before understanding these concepts, you should observe the details measures of central tendency in my earlier videos. Then here every concepts are interlinked. So before studying the measure of variation, you should know measures of central tendency. In the set of observation, if there is a variation or scatteredness or lack of uniformity, then that is known as dispersion. This finding the extent of dispersion, how much dispersed, how much variation, the finding the extent or amount of variation is known as measure of dispersion. Some properties are there for good measures of dispersion, like in the previous videos I have explained for good measures of central tendency, good measures of our averages. It should be rigidly defined, it should be based on all the observations, it should be least affected by extreme observations, it should be least affected by fluctuations of sampling, it should be capable for further mathematical treatment. So same properties I have explained in the earlier video with respect to properties of good averages. The same properties puts here. Now come to types of measures of dispersion. So range is a measure of dispersion, is one type of measure of dispersion. Quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation, variance, and coefficient of variation. So different types of measures of dispersion. I am going to explain one by one. Range. Consider first measure of dispersion, range. Range, it is defined as the difference between largest and smallest observation in a set of observations. Largest minus smallest. That is, range is equal to L minus S. So here, where L is the largest observation and S is the smallest observations. Now, find range for this set of observations. Now, so largest we need in the set of data, largest is this one. 18 is the largest value and smallest is 3. So range is equal to 18 minus 3 is equal to 50. 50 is the range for this set of observations. Properties of range. Range is a crude measure and it is not reliable measure of dispersion because it based on only two extreme observations. From the formula we can observe is only based on two observations. That's why we can say range is crude measure but not a reliable measure of dispersion. Range is not based on all the observations in the set of observations. Of course, it is based on only two. That's why it is not based on all the observations. Range is most affected by observations compared to all other measures because here range is based on only two. There is an extreme values, not just on smallest. That's why this is most affected by extreme observations. Now come to quartile deviation, QD. It is defined as the half of the range between lower and upper quartiles when the observations are arranged in the order of magnitude. So this is QD is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So this is half of the range. Half of the range means the difference between upper quartile and lower quartile. Third quartile, first quartile. Q3 minus Q1. So your Q1 is first quartile or lower quartile. Q3 is third quartile or upper quartile. So in general, we can find out Qi is equal to I of n plus 1 by 4th term. Here n is the number of observations. Instead of I, if you substitute 1, we will get Q1. Instead of I, we will substitute, if I substitute 3, I will get Q3. So this quartile deviation is also called as semi-interquartile range. Semi-interquartile range. Find quartile deviation for this set of observations. Okay, here what we need Q3 and Q1. So from this I can find out first. I will find out Q3 is equal to. So for the formula instead of I have substituted 3 and n is the number of observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 observations. 7 plus 1 by 4. So 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 by 4 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6th term. So 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 by 4 is 2, 8 by 4 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6, 6th term. So in this way Q1 is equal to 1 of, instead of I am substituting 1, Q1. So here n is 7 plus 1 by 4. Third term is 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 by 4 is 2, second term. So sixth term in the set of observation is 15 and second term in the set of observation is 7. So for the formula QD is equal to Q3. Q3 is 15 minus Q1 is 7 whole divided by 2 is 8 by 2 is equal to 4. 4 is the quartile deviation for this set of observations. Now come to properties of quartile deviation. Quartile deviation is a positional measure and not a reliable measure of dispersion because it makes use of 50% of observation, but since it ignores other 50% of the observation. So here we can see quartile deviation based on Q3 and Q1 divided by 2. Here Q1 and Q3. So it considering only these two, but it ignores this set and this set. So 50% of observation neglects. So it is not a reliable measure, and based on some positional values we are calculating quartile deviation. That's why quartile deviation is a positional measure. Quartile deviation is not based on all the observations. Of course, it is based on only Q3 and Q1. so it's not based on all the observation. It won't bother about this set of observation here or here. Only positional values. Quadrant deviation is not at all affected by extreme because it based on position Q3 and Q1, the here lowest values and highest values. When the set of observations are arranged in the order of magnitude, it ignores lowest and highest values. That's why it is not at all affected by extreme values. Quadrant deviation is better than range. Of course, the range only lowest and highest, but somewhat is an improved measure of dispersion. Now come to mean deviation. It is defined as the mean of the absolute deviation of the set of observations from their average. So how to define mean? It is defined as the mean of the means. I am considering, so sum of something divided by n is the mean of the absolute deviations. Absolute means modulus, and deviations of the set of observations from their average. A is mean, median, mode. So in this way we can write mean deviation. Mean deviation is mean of the absolute deviations of set of observations from their average. So here x is the set of observations, a is the average, here mean or mode or median, n is the number of observations. Find out mean deviation for this set of observations. I have taken only the same set of observations for all the problems. Solution. So set of observations, these are the x values x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 up to x7. So set of observations I have taken. So next step is I have to calculate x minus a. For that formula I have to calculate x minus a. X and a is anything, average, mean or mode or median. And lastly, after calculating all these things, I have to calculate modulus of these things, modulus of x minus a. Okay, here calculate, so here summation of x is equal to 3 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 15 plus 18, 70. So here we have to calculate a anything. For time being I am calculating mean, arithmetic mean. X bar is equal to summation of x by n. Here summation of x is 70 and n is number of observation 7. So here x bar is 10. So take the deviations. 3 minus 10 is equal to minus 7. 7 minus 10 is minus 3. 8 minus 10 is minus 2. 9 minus 10 is minus 1. 10 minus 10 is 0. 15 minus 10 is 5. 18 minus 10 is 8. Then take the modulus for all these things. Means if any negative values, make it positive. So here 7, 3, 2, 1, 0, 5, 8. Then take the summation of all these things. Summation of all these things. 7, 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, 13, 13, 5 is 18, 18 plus 18, 26. So here mean deviation is equal to 26 whole divided by number of observations are 7, n is 7. So mean deviation 26 divided by 7 is equal to 3.714. This is the mean deviation. Now come to properties of mean deviation. Mean deviation is absolute measure and it is not a level measure of dispersion because it ignores the negative observations. Of course, this absolute measure means we have taken deviation, absolute values. That's why it's an absolute measure. It ignores negative values. That's why it is not a. So if any negative values, deviation values, we are made positive. So that's why it ignores negative observation. So hence it is not a level measure of dispersion. Mean deviation is based on all the observations. Of course, we are considering all the set of observations. That's why it is based on all the observations. Mean deviation is affected by extreme observation. Of course, it considers all the observations. Obviously, it will affected by extreme observation. Mean deviation is better than range or quartile deviation. So here, of course, mean deviation is we are taking all the values to find out mean deviation, but not in the case of range and quartile deviation. If the deviations are taken from the median, then mean deviation is minimum. So this is a formula. So here summation of modulus x minus a divided by n. A is any average. Any average. So I can take mean also instead of a, arithmetic mean. I can take mode also instead of a. I can take median also. There is a median here. Median is not a mode. So there is a median. We can take median also. In that case, the deviation from this and this, if we compare, so by taking median, I will have minimum value of the mean deviation. That's why if the deviations are taken from the median, then the mean deviation, this mean deviation is minimum. But not if I use mean and mode, I will not get minimum value of mean deviation. If I use median, that is the property of this mean deviation. If I use median, mean deviation will be minimum. If the deviations are taken from the median, then the mean deviation is minimum. Now come to another type of measure of dispersion, standard deviation, SD. It is the square root of the mean of the square of deviations of set of observations from their mean. Just explain. It is the square root of the mean of the mean is sum divided by n. The mean of the square of the deviations of set of observations from their mean is the definition of standard deviation. So this is standard deviation. So this one, square root of the mean of the square of the deviations of set of observations from their mean is standard deviation. So here, where x is the observations, x bar is the mean, the arithmetic mean, n is the number of observations. So SD is denoted by sigma. Now find standard deviation for same set of observations. Solution. So taken the set of observation x, those are the 7 observations, and to calculate x minus x bar in the first step. Then after this, so we have to square x minus x bar. So for that, at last we take summation of all these things to have summation of x minus x bar square. So in the previous slide already calculated x bar is 10. So here 3 minus 10 is minus 7, 7 minus 10 is minus 3, 8 minus 10 is minus 2, then here minus 1, 0, 5, 8. So square. So here, after squaring, we have to take sum of all those the observations. So here 49 plus 9. So for finding, you get 152. So total of all these things, you get 152. So here, for this formula, square root of 152 divided by number of observations 7. Square root of 21.7142. After all, if we using calculator, if we get that square root of 21.7142 is the value of 4.65. This is the value of standard deviation. So here there is no unit, so no unit here. If there is any unit, we have to mention unit. SD is 4.65. Now come to properties of standard deviation. SD is reliable, most powerful measure of dispersion. Of course, here whatever the disadvantage in the previous measures is the range, quarter deviation, mean deviation, but it makes the advantage here. So after deviations, we have taken the square here. That's why it's the best measure of dispersion. SD is based on all the observation. Of course, in the formula itself, it indicates X. We have taken all the observations, so it is based on all the observations. SD is affected by extreme observation. Of course, it includes all the observation. Obviously, it will affect by extreme observations. SD is best compared to range, QD and AB. Now come to another measure of dispersion, variance. It is the mean of the square of the deviations of the set of observations from their mean. Of course, here mean of the square of the deviations of the set of observations from their mean is variance. So this is a variance. Of course, if we take the square root, then it becomes SD. This is variance without square root of this value. If you remove this square root, then it becomes variance. Here also X is a set of observations, X bar is the mean and N is number of observations. Variance is denoted by sigma square. Find the variance for this set of observation. I have taken the same set of data. So same set of data and already calculated in the previous slide. So same values, X minus X bar. After calculating X bar is 10. Then 3 minus 10 is minus 7. 7 minus 10 is minus 3. In that way. X minus X bar. Then here after calculating this one, square of this one is same thing. 7 square is 49, 3 square is 9, sorry, 5 square is 25, 8 square is 64. So total here, of course, 152. I calculated in the previous slide. And for this 152 divided by 7. So n is the number of observations 7. So of course, without square root, this is 21.7142. This is a variance. So these are properties of variance. SD is the square root of the variance, that is SD is B. That that is SD is equal to square root of variance. So of course SD is equal to square root of summation of x minus x bar square divided by n is the standard deviation, and instead of this inside I can write variance. And also second property, the square of the SD is the variance. Of course, if I use square here, this square root removes. This is also second property. If I calculate in both the way, I can find out standard deviation or variance. Only variance will have third property. The only variance will have square of the unit of measurement. Of course, in all the measures, if I use centimeter, unit is centimeter for range, quarter deviation, or mean deviation, standard deviation. But for the variance, it will square. If I use centimeter, centimeter square. Here, if the observation, if the unit of the observation is in kg, the unit of variance is in kg square. Same if I use cm, centimeter, centimeter square. Now come to another type of measure of dispersion, coefficient of variation, CV. CV, it was given by Carl Pearson. Coefficient of variation is defined as the ratio of standard deviation to the arithmetic mean expressed as a percentage. Here CV is defined as the ratio of standard deviation. Standard deviation to the arithmetic mean. To the arithmetic mean expressed as a percentage. This is the CV. CV is equal to SD by mean into 100. So it is using notation. So CV is equal to sigma by x bar into 100. It shows the extent of variability in relation to mean. Of course, extent of variability in relation to arithmetic mean, in relation to mean. The property of CV. Find CV for the same set of observations. So in the previous slide itself, already calculated SD. SD is equal to 4.65 and x bar is equal to 10. So for the same set of observation. So here for this using formula 4.65 divided by 10 into 100. CV is equal to 4.65. Here this becomes 465 divided by 10 is 46.5%. 46.50. So percent you have to mention here. So this is 100. So whatever the unit, standard deviation and mean becomes at last for CV percent. It should be expressed in percent. Properties of CV. CV is a relative measure of dispersion. Of course, it has taken SD and mean. SD and mean is a relative. CV is always expressed in percentage. Of course, I have expressed in percentage. CV is a unit-free measure of dispersion. Of course, whatever if for set of observation, standard deviation is in centimeter and mean is centimeter. So at last there will be no unit. Only you have to express in percentage. So if any set of observation which indicates less value of CV, which indicates less variation, less heterogeneous, more homogeneous or more uniform or more stable or more consistent. So less value means less variability, less value of CV. So less variation, less heterogeneous, more homogeneous, in other words, or more uniform, more stable, more consistent. So in this way, high value of CV indicates high value, high variability, more variation, more heterogeneous, less homogeneous, less uniform, less stable, less consistent. So you can compare both the columns here. So less variation, more variation. Less heterogeneous, more heterogeneous. More homogeneous, less homogeneous. More uniform, less uniform. More stable, less stable. More consistent, less consistent. Let's consider this one sample set of observation. From that sample, I can have one sample. Randomly, I can select one sample. We let 1000 observations. I am selecting only 10 observations for my sample. If I calculate any measure of calculating the value based on the population. So if any measure calculating the value based on the units of the population is known as parameter. So parameter means any measure calculated based on the values of the population units. So these are the parameters: population mean, population standard deviation, population variance. For the whole set of observations, for the whole set, I should not leave any observations. So population, whole entire set of observation I have to include to find out population mean, mu, population standard deviation, sigma, population variance, sigma square. So this parameter is also called as statistical constant of a population or characteristics of a population. If I say simply statistical constant of population mean, that's a parameter. If I say characteristics of a population means, that is parameter. So here from the sample, if I calculate any measure based on the units of the sample, that is known as statistic, but not statistics. This is statistic. So these are the statistic. Sample mean x bar, sample standard deviation s, sample variance s square. So if I calculate arithmetic mean from the sample, that is sample mean. If I calculate standard deviation from the sample, that is sample standard deviation. If I calculate variance from the sample, that is sample variance. Here also same thing. If I calculate mean from the population, for all these set of observation, then that is population mean, like population standard deviation, population variance. If I say statistical constant of sample, that is statistic only. If I say characteristics of a sample, that means statistic only. Let's consider one example. Here I can calculate, so average height of plants in a field. Average height, this is for the parameter. Average height of the plants in a field is 50 centimeters. Any crop. Here for the sample, only few observation. So that mean average height of plants from the sample is 40 centimeters. Of course, it can vary or it may be equal also. That depends on the situation. So if the difference 50 centimeter and 40 centimeter, the difference is 10 centimeter. That is due to sampling error. That is the difference is known as sampling error. So whatever the things here, if I can take average marks of the students in a certain class, so 80 marks, average marks. From the sample, only I have selected only 10 students or 5 students. Their average is maybe 90 marks. That depends on the units of the sample. The difference between these parameter and statistic is here minus 10 marks. This difference between parameter and statistic is known as sampling error. Of course, it may be 0 also. Sometimes for the parameter is 50 centimeter, this is also 50 centimeter. That depends. So in that case, sampling error is 0. So far I have explained the problems regarding this type of data. This is called as raw data. For raw data, I have explained the calculation method for range, range, quarter deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation, variance and coefficient of variation. So we can have this type of also distribution. So this is discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. So for these problems on this type of data, we can have in the next video. Thank you.